Hello and welcome back to our next episode of Collectively Cambridge.
In this episode, we're going to get to know some of our sports players.
We hope you enjoy.
Okay. Hello, my name is Mr. Harkness. I'm a member of staff here at Cambridge House.
I'm
gonna be sick here. This is horrible.
They set up nice
How did
and
you get
straight.
this?
I haven't done any of that.
I was gonna go like sort of laid back here, but that's
No,
really
you should be-
unprofessional, like, isn't it? Right, let me get a drink of water.
So what sport were you involved in, or are you still involved in terms?
Well, growing up, I was involved in loads of different sports. Started out at primary school and did a lot of swimming all the way through secondary school, and then played a lot of rugby again through primary school and into my secondary school time. A couple of years back, I had a bad injury playing rugby, so I'm not currently involved in that sport anymore, but I'm heavily involved in the coaching here at school and really enjoying it. And then kind of in my own free time, I'll play a lot of golf. I suppose that's the sport that I'm currently involved in at the minute.
What's your handicap?
One.
Pretty good.
So
Good job.
a lot of practice.
So who is your favourite sports person and why?
So my favourite sports person is probably Roger Federer. Growing up, I remember watching him win Wimbledon about 3 or 4 times in a row, and every time he was interviewed after, I always just thought he spoke really well, and I think he's a great example even today for young people that are involved in sport, because he's obviously worked incredibly hard to be so successful in a sport, but as well as that, he's also managed to stay really humble and comes across as a really grounded person.
Yeah. So what extent or level were you involved in with your swimming?
So in swimming, I represented Ulster in Ireland at like an underage group sort of level, and then in rugby, towards the end of my time at secondary school, I got selected for Ulster under-19s and under-20s, and then towards the twilight years of my rugby playing career, I was playing at Ballymena. So that's probably the pinnacle of sport that I got to.
And why did you start the sport that you did?
I got involved in rugby through my friends at primary school. They were all going out and doing the Saturday mornings, and I would have been P2 I think whenever I started that, so it just became something that I did with them first and foremost. I wasn't particularly good. I didn't even really enjoy it that much at the beginning, but then I suppose as I got used to playing in a team, you know, feeling successful with your teammates, and that's what really motivated me to keep going. And then from that, I just, you know, enjoyed the sport more and more, and that's why I continue to keep playing it all the way through school and on after school as well.
What about your swimming? How did you get involved in that?
Swimming was slightly different. I remember going for swimming lessons when I was younger. That was my mum and dad made me do that, and it was actually one of the instructors who was taking the swimming said that, you know, it'd be a good idea if I went over and did a couple of sessions with the swimming club, and that was originally just in Ballymena. And then after that, at the end of primary school, that was a move to Larne Swimming Club, where they offered more training sessions. So I think at Ballymena you could train 2 or 3 times a week. At Larne they offered up to 12 sessions, so you obviously didn't go to all of them, but you went to probably 6 or 7 of them, and then that increased as the years as it went on.
So what have you learned from the sports you've played?
I think sport's brilliant because it teaches you an awful lot about skills that you need in any part of life. It teaches you all about hard work, self-discipline, as I mentioned earlier, humility, and it's a great way to keep yourself grounded. As well as that, most of the friends that I have nowadays are still the friends that I grew up playing sport with, so it's I've got a lot to be grateful for whenever it comes to sport.
Goodness sake.
So how has sport impacted your education?
Sports had a massive impact on my education. It was the big reason why I came to Cambridge House in the first place. So the school that I was at, they didn't offer PE for A level, so I knew that I wanted to be involved in that for the rest of my life. I knew that from a very early age, so I know if I hadn't have made that transition and moved across here, there's no way that I'd be doing what I'm doing now, because it's given me the opportunity to obviously work with different rugby teams, get to know different people around Ballymena Rugby Club, and now obviously pursue a career in teaching, which I'm really enjoying so far.
Good. So what's been your favourite sporting moment throughout your life?
Favourite sporting moment throughout my life, from a personal point of view, any time that I've got to represent my country or province in any sport. On a personal level, again, playing rugby for Ballymena and winning a senior cup was a real highlight, getting to play at Ravenhill and be successful there. As a sports fan, I've had a couple as well. I think Tiger Woods winning the Masters back in 2019, and more recently Italy beating Wales in the Six Nations as well was great to see. So yeah, just two great examples.
So, what are your future aspirations with sport? Are you going to start any new sports or?
Well, I'll keep going with golf. I would love to get my handicap as low as possible and try and play off scratch. And you know, if I get good enough or get to that level, I know that I can play in, you know, competitions and stuff, and that's something that I really enjoy doing. I also want to become a bit more involved in the coaching here in school. I'm really looking forward to the opportunity to get to work with another team next year. And you know, I have my own ambitions of trying to win silverware with the school here. I think actually Jacob's year group was probably the last time that the school won a trophy in anything, so it would be really nice if, you know, they could go on and win something, or if not, you know, one of the years that's younger than them.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Harkness.
Alright, appreciate that, Cameron. Thank you. Really enjoyed it.
What are your 3 non-negotiables when it comes to sport? 3 non-negotiables, either like when you were playing sport or as a coach.
Probably having respect for your coach, for the opposition, not being lazy, making sure that you train and work hard and be disciplined, and like I've mentioned a couple of times today already, no matter how good you get at any sport, I think the most important thing for a sportsman is that they stay grounded and they stay humble, because that's what keeps them hungry and breeds success.
So,
What do you think?
Fair play, boys.
Well done.
Hi.
Thanks very much.
Okay.
I'm Rexanna Brownlow and I'm in year 8.
I'm Kallum Kinnear and I'm in year 8.
What sport are you involved in Cambridge House?
I'm involved in hockey and I'm part of the cross country team.
I'm involved in rugby and so often football.
Who's your favourite sports person and why?
Mine would probably be Andy Murray because he achieved success against really good players as well.
Kallum, who's your favourite sports person and why?
My favourite sports person would either be Johnny Sexton or Mohamed Salah.
Why?
Because they're both just incredible players, and whenever they're on the pitch, their heads are always high and they're both so determined.
Okay, how long have you been involved in the sport in school then? Did you play it before you came to school or did you just start at Cambridge House?
Yeah, I started playing in P6 in primary school and now I'm doing hockey matches.
I only started playing rugby whenever I came to Cambridge House.
And how have you found it so far?
It was really good and it's really fun.
I've loved rugby so far. I've met some new people. It's just been really great.
How and why did you start the sport?
Well, we were asked if we would want to do it in P6 and then I said yeah, to do it as an after school sport, and then I just really enjoyed it, so I continued it, and then I really enjoyed it here at Cambridge House as well, and then I came onto the team.
The main reason I started sport is because my big cousin always pushed me to play rugby, because he didn't really like me playing football because he didn't really like me playing football and he just always wanted me to play rugby. So.
Good job. What have you learnt from the sport so far? Is there anything you can think of?
I've learnt to play as a team and how to stay more concentrated in a match.
I've just learnt to keep your head high. Like if you're losing, just tell your teammates, like move on with it. Just try your hardest.
Good job. Why do you think sport's important for young people?
Well, it's a good reason to get outside, it gives you exercise and it helps you to make a social bubble and have friends.
I think it's good for young people just to keep exercise, like just stay fit and yet to meet new people.
Okay. How has sport impacted your education?
Well, playing hockey has helped me settle into Cambridge House and has allowed me to meet a lot more people than I would have.
It's helped me quite a bit, like teammates are just very helpful.
What is your favourite sporting moment?
Probably the year that Liverpool won the Premier League.
Very good. Are you a Liverpool fan?
Yeah.
Good job. Callum?
Mine's whenever Liverpool won the Champions League.
Future aspirations or achievements within the sport. So what do you want to do with a sport down the line?
To continue to play hockey, get better with practice and to stay a part of the Cambridge House hockey team.
I'd love to continue with rugby. It's an amazing sport and it's just really great to play. I'd love to play it further down the line.
Great job. Alright, well done.
Up next we have Megan Stevenson and Mr. Johnson.
Okay, Megan, what sport are you involved in?
I do CrossFit and gymnastics.
Do you do any of that inside school? Do you do any other sports inside school?
I do netball in school as well.
Who's your favourite sports person and why?
Probably Lucy McGonigal. I don't know if you've heard of her, but
know who
she's
she is.
15 and she won the CrossFit Open for her age category this year and last year.
Okay, good job. How long have you been involved in the sport and to what level?
For gymnastics, I started when I was 8 and I still do it. I compete rhythmic and artistic gymnastics, and I'm going for the Northern Ireland Rhythmic Gymnastics Squad Trials on Saturday. For CrossFit, I did the CrossFit Open recently and I came 3rd in Ireland and 15th in the UK. For netball, the last big competition we did was the Northern Ireland plate final and we came 2nd.
How did you find the Open?
It was definitely challenging, but yeah, it was good. I want to do it next year and improve.
Do you want to explain to anyone what the Open is if they don't know?
So basically it's an online sort of competition that anyone in the world can do, and you record your scores for each 3 workouts that are released and you just try to be the best.
Good job. How and why did you start the sport? So either CrossFit or gymnastics?
I started going to gladiator training for CrossFit because my mum went there for like a year or 2 before, and I just had some friends that went. And then for gymnastics, I started the sport because my friends, and there was a summer camp.
What have you learned from the sport?
For CrossFit especially through the Open, I learned that like if it's a 10-minute workout, you like give it your all the 10 minutes, and you just dive for 10 minutes and it's okay.
Good job. Why do you think sport's important for young people?
I think it's important to like clear your head, and it's like good for your mental health as well. So like just a break from school and everything.
What's your favourite sporting moment?
Whenever I went to the Irish Indoor Rowing Championships in Limerick, and our relay team came 2nd.
Very good. And what's your future aspirations? I know you said about taking part in the Open again, but what is your aspirations? What do you want to achieve?
In Gladiator for the Open next year, I would like to come 2nd in Ireland maybe, and also I'm coaching in there soon, so.
Very good.
What would you like to win in gymnastics?
Well, my trials are on Saturday. I'd just like to get through those. It's not like a competition. I'd like to be on the Northern Ireland squad, so that'd be good. And then with that, I would compete for Northern Ireland.
Are you taking part in any other CrossFit competitions coming up, or?
I don't know if there's any.
Are you going to the Gladiator
Probably.
Games? No.
Oh yeah. I think. Well, I need to find a partner for that. But yeah, I would like to do that.
Good job.
Next we have Missy Johnson and Ben Smith.
Okay, Ben, what sport are you involved in?
I'm involved in motorsport, specifically go-karting.
Okay. Who's your favourite sports person and why?
Lewis Hamilton, because he never gives up and always tries his best.
Good job. How long have you been involved in the sport and to what level?
I've been involved for 5 years and at an international level.
Good job. How and why did you start the sport?
Because my dad and granddad did it, so I just thought I would give it a try.
Okay. What have you learned from the sport so far?
Just to keep your head up and never give up.
Why do you think sport's important for young people, based off some of your experience that you've had?
To sort of clear your head from school and everything that's going on at home, and it's good for activity, physical activity.
How has it impacted your education, motorsport specifically?
It's just good to get breaks sometimes from school, and it can almost help sometimes when you go back.
What's your favourite sporting moment?
Probably when Max Verstappen won the World Finals. I like that quite a bit.
See your favourite, like Lewis Hamilton is, but
I like both quite
you like
a lot.
both.
It's quite
If you had to
hard.
pick a favourite, could you not? No.
No.
So what's your future aspirations and achievements then within the sport? Like where do you want to see yourself in 10 years, say?
It would be great to win the European finals this year, in my category.
Okay. And like what's some of the races you've been involved in recently? I know you're away, were you in Portugal there recently?
I've been in Spain twice this year.
Spain.
For a week period both times.
Okay, and what do you get up to in a week in Spain then when you're there?
Well, you do about 5 days of testing just over and over at the track, and then it's just racing at the end of the week.
Good job. Do you feel a lot of pressure when you're doing it?
Yeah, but you also feel it's also fun as well to be around with more of your friends.
Is it very competitive? Are you very competitive?
Yeah, everyone's very competitive there.
Okay, and who goes out with you then when you're going to Spain?
Sometimes it can just be my mom or the whole family.
Okay, and what do they think? I take it they're really happy you're involved in the sport.
They love it.
You're doing
they really
well.
love it.
You won something there recently, didn't you? Or did you?
Yeah.
What was that you won?
I went out to England about 2 weeks ago. I won that race, and I came second in the world finals last year.
That was in Portugal, was it?
Yeah, that was a Portugal race.
How did that feel coming second?
It felt great, but I still came second. In a way, I would like to push a bit harder and win it.
Yeah, good job.
Up next we have Sophia and Mr. Johnson.
So Sophia, what sport are you involved in?
The sport that I am involved in is show jumping.
Show jumping. Who's your favourite sports person and why?
My favourite sports person is Neve McAvoy. She is a very talented and up and coming professional show jumper and is someone that I am inspired by.
How long have you been involved in this sport and to what level?
I have ridden ponies from a very young age. I was bought my very first pony when I was 3 and started competing at a higher level when I was 9, jumping in under 10s at Balmoral Show and other national shows.
Well done. And how and why did you start the sport?
Both of my parents and grandparents rode, so they have all encouraged me to get involved in the sport.
What have you learnt from the sport?
I have learnt the value of perseverance and determination. I have also learnt how to deal with disappointment when things don't go to plan, as well as the sweet taste of success when they do go well.
That's good. Why do you think sport in general is important for young people?
I have made some great friends within the sport. It is also great for my fitness and health, both mental and physical.
How has show jumping impacted your education?
Sport teaches you that hard work gives good results. This is carried through to the school life.
Very good. What's your favourite sporting moment?
My favourite sporting moment was jumping my 6-year-old pony in a big All-Ireland class in Mullingar. I was placed 6th. I also enjoyed winning and was proud to represent Cambridge House in the Inter-Schools League at St Patrick's Day at the Meadows Question Centre.
Very good. And what's your future aspirations or achievements you want to achieve within show jumping?
My future goals would be to jump at a Dublin Horseshoe and compete against Ireland's top young show jumpers. I am also looking forward to competing at the Scottish Home Pony competition in July and representing Ireland.
Very good.
Up next we have Abi and Mr. Johnson.
So Abi, what sport are you involved in?
I play football. I play for Linfield at under 19 and senior level and Northern Ireland at under 17.
Very good. Who's your favourite sports person and why?
Probably Virgil van Dijk, because I love Liverpool and he plays the same position as me. So, like whenever I watch him, I can always learn from how he plays.
Very good. Lots of Liverpool fans on here then. How long have you been involved in sport?
I've played for 10 years at the highest level possible for somebody my age. So I play for Linfield at senior level, and then I've played in European qualifiers for Northern Ireland.
Yeah, we'll definitely get onto that in a wee minute. Why did you start football, or what made you get into that?
My brother plays football as well, and whenever we were younger he always had me out playing as well. So then I kind of just fell in love with it and went from there.
What have you learnt from the sport?
I've learnt the importance of like teamwork and togetherness and resilience as well. So football's taught me how to deal with disappointments and setbacks.
Why do you think sport's important for young people in general?
It's good for your physical and mental health, and you make loads of friends doing any sport, and it's good for bringing you out of your comfort zone.
And how has football impacted your education?
It's taught me to have good timekeeping skills. So like I'm having to do a lot of homeworks like weeks in advance so that I'm able to play football because I'm not allowed to play if I don't have my schoolwork done.
What's your favourite sporting moment?
My personal favourite sporting moment was probably scoring my penalty in the Super Cup semi-final against Dungannon. I was the first girl to ever play in the Super Cup, and it was just nice to get a goal as well.
Do you have a favourite sporting moment in general? Not maybe just for you, but like favourite sporting moment that you've seen on TV or?
Probably whenever Liverpool beat Barcelona in the quarterfinals, semi-finals.
Semi-finals was it? I think yeah.
Oh,
They turned it around, yeah. And future aspirations or achievements within the sport?
I'd love to play across the water someday, anywhere. And I'd love to make my senior international debut soon.
What age do you have to be for that? Or
16.
Okay. And then recently you're involved in the Euros. Can you tell us a bit about that experience, like what you had to do or who you played and your results?
Yeah, so we originally went to Serbia last year, and then we were in League A, and then we lost all our games against Spain, Serbia and Iceland, so we were relegated into League B. So we went to Israel and we won all our games against Luxembourg, Faroe Islands and Israel. So that puts us back up into the A League. Nobody's ever done that before, so we made history.
Very good.
Yeah, it was really good.
What's it like travelling to those countries, you know, to play a game? Like, is it nerve-wracking? Like, do you feel a lot of pressure when you're travelling away to like Israel or?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it is bad for the nerves.
But sure, it's all a learning experience anyway.
It's great.
So how many games do you have left then in the Euros?
That's last year's Euros done, so we're back up into the A League now, so it'll be 4 matches or 3 matches again in the group.
And when will that start again? Will that be?
Probably August, September.
Yeah.
Very good.
So what sport are you involved in?
I'm involved in the Cambridge House Rugby here in school, and I've been playing it since first year, and before that I was in the Ballymena Minis in the town there. So.
And what is your favourite sport person and why?
So I'd say Rory Best, because he plays the same position as me, and I just think that he was a great leader and very humble while he did that, and that was quite inspiring there.
Yeah. And how long have you been involved in this sport, and to what extent or level?
Well, I've been playing since I was like about P3 maybe, and then I've started training with the Ulster under 18s, so and then playing with school.
Yeah. And how or why did you start the sport? What got you into the sport?
Well, I just started going along to the Ballymena Minis, and then my dad went with me and just sort of kept going since that, so it's just always been there.
And what have you learnt from taking part in the sport?
So I'd say I learned a lot of skills like self-discipline, hard work, all the skills that you learn doing that, and then it's just been helpful in other aspects of life too.
And why do you think that sport is important for young people?
Because you can learn lots of things that you can't learn doing other things, so like teamwork, hard work, dedication, all those things that'll take you far.
Yeah. And what's your favourite sporting moment?
For me, our medallion team won the medallion trophy, so that was quite a significant moment for us as a team.
Yep. And what are your future aspirations or achievements within the sport?
Well, obviously just to keep playing and maybe end up out at Ballymena Club after school, and I'd like to do well this year maybe in the schools cup, and just try and go as far as I can with it and see where it takes me.
Thank you very much, Jacob.
Okay, so I'm now joined with 3 more of our sports people, so if you want to introduce yourselves.
I'm Scott Montgomery and I play football.
I'm Christy, I play rugby.
I'm Bethany Reynolds, I play hockey.
Okay, so very good, so we've got a wide range ready. So do you want to go around and tell me each your favourite sports person and why?
So mine's Lionel Messi, just because of the way he reads the game and the way he dribbles and the things he can do on the pitch is what.
Mine would be Neve Jones. She's actually from Ballymena, went to academy. She plays Ulster seniors as well as the Irish women's. And she just has a natural ability. I've been coached by her a few times as well, and she's just a very motivating type of person.
I remember Davy Hart whenever we went on our hockey tour to Holland. He's the one who coached us and showed us around and taught us many different things, and he's just really good crack, really good guy, and such a good player as a keeper.
Okay, very good. So then how long have each of you been involved in your sport and to what extent?
Well, I started going to Ballymena mini soccer whenever I could really, so I've been playing at Ballymena United for 11-12 years. I play in the Neffel League A section, so.
Very good.
I played mini rugby at Ballymena, I think it must have been P1 at that stage. Then I had to stop for a while and joined again in 2017. And I'm currently with the Ulster squad, under 18s, and training with the seniors as well. So.
And I've been playing hockey at Ballymena Hockey Club since I was 5, and playing ever since, playing senior, and then also in school, playing since I was first year, and then I'm playing as captain of first 11 in school.
Very good. So then how and why did you get involved in your sport?
Because I was so young, I think, I'm not exactly sure, but I think it was more to do with my dad. He was a footballer and he got me into it and pushed me to keep playing, so.
Yeah, I'm getting similar to Scott. Just the family always an interest, and my mum forced me to go to mini rugby with the boys in the morning. So.
Yep, family again. My sister Rebecca's always been a big hockey player, and mum and dad just always sport orientated. So, just always that background behind me.
Very good.
Yep.
Okay, so Scott, I've got a different question for you. So, how has sport impacted your education?
So I was able to gain offers from different universities and colleges in England and America for scholarships, sporting scholarships. So that ties down with my education, and it's been able to give me chances abroad. So.
Very good. So then a question for you is now, what's been your favourite sporting moment?
Mine had to be my first Ulster game, getting called up from the bench to go on, brought a wee tear to my eye. And just really seeing my mum and all in the crowd, and my coach after saying he was proud of me, it sort of felt like all the hard work had paid off from the summer.
Mine would be back in first year. Beat the academy and big rivals, but it was no fair game and big dog pile and Miss Drew put us in the paper. So I'll never forget that.
And what are some of your future aspirations with your sport?
Well, mine would obviously to be keep pushing and training and see how far I can go, and if not, go down the sporting sector within a job basis. So.
I've just started a new rugby club kick, so hopefully short term get settled in there, more longer term maybe hoping to get on the Ulster senior squad again, maybe start coaching or get onto the ladies committee so I can inspire the next generation.
Hopefully play for the uni team when I get there, continue with club, or maybe just continue as a coach at Buffin Club or any other organisations that come about.
Okay, very good. Wish you all the best for the future.
Thank you. So here are a few of the extracurricular sporting clubs that we offer in school. We have football, hockey, rugby, tennis, netball, badminton and cricket.
We hope you enjoyed listening to our podcast today and having an insight in what sport is like here at Cambridge House.
And we hope to see you very soon on our next episode.